The ultimate gift for a content creator is this teleprompter, and not just any teleprompter. I'm specifically talking about this Elgato prompter. And I'm saying this after only using this device for about an hour. I bought the Elgato prompter, set it up, and realized that there's like 4 things I found that I've absolutely love about it so far. The first is the amount of accessories that it ships with. You get backplates for their face cam, ring adapters that allow you to slot in your camera with your favorite lens. And if your lens is either too big or you have to put a different filter on it, which unfortunately I have to do, you can always use the universal shroud backplate, which is just a bigger opening with a piece of black fabric attached. And by the way, as a side note, the reason I use a filter is because without it, the reflection of my key light is too shiny off my head. I should just quit YouTube and go out and direct traffic with this dome. The second is that it comes with an actual screen, and there's some cool tricks you can do with the screen. The prompter is powered by USB, and it uses a higher data rate cable into your computer to connect to Elgato's hub software. To facilitate this, it uses DisplayLink. Now, for those who don't know, DisplayLink is a software-powered multi-display protocol. It's not hardware accelerated by your GPU or graphic card. At first glance, this sounds like a downfall, but it makes sense because this is to ensure compatibility with many computers. Like if your specific computer doesn't have hardware acceleration available for a second monitor or doesn't even support multi-monitor displays over USB, then not having DisplayLink would be an issue. But for compatibility, thankfully, this was their implementation and it works really well. At best, you're probably only viewing text outputs from a script or even Twitch chat, which by the way is a feature that Elgato currently has in beta in the hub software. At its worst, maybe you're using the prompter screen to have a conversation with someone while you film for a more natural feeling of seeing someone almost in person. The screen is nice and bright, and with my 50mm 1.8 Lumix lens, I don't see that effect that you typically see with other teleprompters where the text starts showing up in the video, and that's with prompters set to 100% brightness. That's also probably because the screen is pre-mounted for optimal viewing. The third is that this is part of the Elgato ecosystem, so if you already own a Stream Deck like this thing, you can easily program some of the buttons for scrolling and other prompter functions. And yes, I do use a Stream Deck, but as of right now, I'm not actually using it with prompter because of the next point. So the fourth and probably my favorite feature is the voice sync feature. This was added fairly recently by Elgato with a software update to the hub software. If you're using a laptop with a built-in mic, you can use that mic to trigger prompter to move your script. On my setup, which is a Mac, you can choose the audio input so you can use like an external microphone or even wirelessly use your iPhone's mic, which is kind of sick. What's great about the way voice sync works is you could even freestyle or ad-lib a line here or there, and prompter will wait to continue scrolling. This will assist you in crafting a more natural presentation on camera. Like all things, nothing is perfect, so here are a few things to know that may hinder your setup. First, there are 2 mounting points for a tripod, one being directly on the rear of the prompter monitor, and one is on the prompter frame itself. So because of the camera adjustments, don't expect to put a different plate on it like say an Arca Swiss plate to use it with a quick release system. The next point is the camera mounting itself. So with my Panasonic S5 II, there's a little bit of flex on the piece holding the camera and no mounting point for a tripod directly under the camera. So it makes me a little bit nervous. And also adding a quick release to the camera mount itself isn't ideal as it will probably take your setup off center, which doesn't look natural when filming. And also, a quick release plate probably won't even fit. Third, the width of the prompter isn't great. Luckily, I use a 50mm prime lens, so that works fine, but if I shoot wider, like say under 24mm, you may see the edges of the prompter in your shot, which is a no-go. I can see Elgato releasing something like a Prompter XL with a larger screen, wider glass, and a bigger price tag, but then again, wider lenses also emphasize the fact that you're reading, which doesn't look good on camera. There's a list of compatible lenses on Elgato's website. I'll throw that link in the description. So check there first if your lens and camera combination is compatible. The fourth point, I've seen this mentioned on Reddit and a few other threads on the internet about mobile phone support. Like, look, it'd be nice in a pinch, but at the same time, this isn't a portable device. Like its intended use is in a studio space. So maybe the fourth point isn't really a bad thing. The materials are plastic with the exception of obviously the glass within the frame. And I get why the materials have to be lower cost. This is a very disruptive device which can rival more expensive teleprompters, thus lowering the barrier to entry. And for me, there's one other secret benefit to this, and this might sound weird, but it's hard drive space. I like to archive my projects, and when you're trying to freestyle off bullet points, especially when you're new at this, there's a lot of outtakes and rambling.
Two USB 3.2 Gen 2.
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say that the 3.0 firmware is performing. Ah, you had it. It has a bunch of really interesting features, like they've got the, just stick to the nose shot, come on.
Good morning and welcome to WWDC 2024. And you meant to say marketing. Okay, hey God.
And we're talking about storing video here. The idea is to be efficient and having long clips that are 100 gigabytes that are compressed, no less. That being your source file, it just stops being reasonable, especially when you're starting out and you don't have a lot of money for extra storage in the beginning of your content creation journey. At $279 US at the time of filming, it's not a cheap product by any means, but it's definitely a high value product that will heavily reduce friction in your content creation, especially if you're new to it. I honestly believe that Elgato was super thoughtful when they decided to embark on making a teleprompter in the first place. And for their debut of this product line, I think they knocked it out of the park. Again, I've only been using it for about an hour. This whole video was shot with it too. This is a fantastic gift this holiday season for a loved one who is serious about getting into content creation. There are affiliate links below to purchase Prompter, which helps out the channel a lot. You know, if this video brought you value, feel free, hit that like button and check out this video that YouTube is recommending up in the corner for some reason. My name is Sean, this has been Tech Mixer, and I'm out. Peace.